Be sure to subscribe to Viral now and click the bell so you never miss an upload of ours. Hey there everyone, my name is Jeremy Jameson, here to expand upon the conversation surrounding the disappearance of Lui Calibre and his uploads on YouTube. First off, congratulations to Lui, as he's just surpassed 5 million subscribers, despite not uploading since July 24th, 2016. He's continued to have newcomers to his channel. Looking at his growth on the website Social Blade, since the last piece of content on his channel, a Pokemon Go livestream VOD, he's gained approximately 400,000 subscribers and 55 million views or so. Numbers like that over a time period of 15 months would be incredible for most YouTubers, especially for an inactive one. I'd say this just speaks volumes to the quality of Lui Calibre's videos. People are still actively sharing and discussing his content after such a long ongoing break for him. Now he has not completely fallen into obscurity. He's somewhat active on Twitter, posting occasionally about new games, personal thoughts, responding to fans and friends, among some other stuff. Also, he does still play video games, as he appears in his friends' videos from time to time, and attends gaming events as well. He was at TwitchCon, as you can see from these images, and if you take a look at this one, he bumped into Andy Milonakis, who used to be on MTV, nowadays does a bunch of real-life vlog live streams on Twitch. Lui ran into Andy while he was live.
What's going on, you guys? My name is Lui. I just hit 5 million subscribers. This is Andy Milonakis. He doesn't know that, but he does now.
That's alright.
Oh, one guy you mean said Lui, said my name.
Peace, bro.
Thank you.
It's great to see Lui looking like he's doing well. He actually ends up running back to Andy about a minute after that clip right there in order to get the picture that he posted to Twitter.
You like the gimbal?
Andy, real fast. I just wanted to take a picture.
Okay, whoa. Hold.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna treat you out a little bit.
Hey.
So, I actually think this moment of Lui being captured, candidly, to a certain extent, I mean, he wasn't planning on showing up in Andy's live stream, just happened to see him, and then jumped in, which I suppose he could have totally walked by and not jumped in the stream. But anyways, I'm just saying this to make the point that with how excited Mr. Calibre came off when he said that he hit 5 million subscribers, he obviously still cares about the channel, but then if he cares, why has he left such a massive audience waiting for his return after a 15-month and counting hiatus? Well, yes, this now enters us into confusing territory. To preface some more ideas as to why he's been gone from content creation, you need to understand that Lui is a complex and complicated guy. In some videos of his and on social media, Lui has been more open than some of his friends, expressing his emotions at the current moment, at the time, as well as plans, hopes of his. On Twitter, he's talked about making sure to care for other people and then ask how they're doing, for example. He comes off as a very loving guy, but then at the same time, with some of the things he says, like that direct tweet I just mentioned, it can be taken in a little more of a dark sense. To quote the series of tweets, he said, "Can someone ask me, how are you feeling? Or are you okay? Sad face. Hashtag dramatic sad tweet. In all honesty, it sucks when the people closest to you are oblivious to the fact that there could be something wrong with you. I'm okay, just ask others around if they're okay, or if there's something you can do for them." Lui's an intelligent guy. It's obvious he's been spending a ton of time reflecting on his well-being. He does give us the confirmation that he's okay in that tweet we just looked at, but to inspire such a tweet, he must have been going and possibly on and off again, continuing to have some issues in his life that he's been struggling with. I'm not saying that he's necessarily depressed, but being at the age of 33, he may be at the point in his life where he's contemplating bigger life changes. By this point, for a lot of people, they've gotten married, started a family, had some kids. Perhaps this is something Lui is considering. This is just one example. He has mentioned in the past that he wants to expand his content to do some more ambitious projects. He hasn't gone into great detail with exactly what that means, but I'd assume film or doing some show of sorts or something like that, which I believe is well in the scope of Lui's abilities. The guy is incredibly talented, as we all know. If he were to want to seriously consider doing something like this though, I'd assume he would have at least told us something about it on Twitter, but maybe not. It could once again just be something that he's thought about a lot but hasn't really acted upon it. He could be bored of making gaming content. As much as we all love it, believing you have a talent to pursue different types of projects is something that I've heard a lot of YouTubers personally talk about. To bring it back to another series of tweets addressing where he's at in life, albeit these tweets are a year old now, but this was still well into his recent break on YouTube. He said, "I understand what it is to be responsible. In parentheses, be quiet if you're talking about my channel. Recently, waking up feels like a chore. I'm not sad or depressed, but I found myself lost in thought more than ever." To those that know me, and I mean really know me, this just reaffirms that he's been confused about where he's at in life. Taking time off to self-reflect is needed time to time. The part where he says that waking up feels like a chore, I interpret this as it's just hard to do things at this point in his life. He makes a joke about not mentioning his YouTube channel, but in reality, this totally applies to his channel. He's taken a couple other extended breaks before this recent one, where he was still presumably in the confused state. I'd even say we could combine his absence from July 2016 and extend it all the way back to December 2015. As from December 2015 to June 2016, he uploaded nothing during that time. When he did briefly return, he only did a couple quick vlogs, a couple paid videos, 3 livestream VODs with Pokemon Go, plus 1 GTA 5 DLC video, once again taking place from June to July of 2016. That's not a full return in my eyes. He hasn't consistently uploaded since the end of 2015. He's definitely going through some things in his mind, as to just leave a massive audience without uploading a video saying, "Hey guys, I'm gonna be gone for the next while," just shows that he hasn't explicitly intended to have these big breaks, but they just kind of happen, and he doesn't have the motivation to return, and then it gets to the point where he's taking a long break, and then he's like, I'm not ready to fully return. At this point, it doesn't make any sense to do an update video to say that I'm still going to be gone for a while, so he just hasn't uploaded anything. Throughout this break, a handful of times, he's mentioned to returning to making videos on Twitter, but of course he has yet to follow through on those statements. One angle I haven't seen mentioned too much while looking around in regards to Lui is perhaps he was about to return earlier this year, but then the YouTube ad-apocalypse, as it's been known, took place. If you're not in the loop as to what I'm referring to, shortly after spring began this year, in late March, early April, a considerable amount of big advertisers on YouTube began to become scared of what their advertisements were appearing on, as it had been seen that sometimes, as one of the main examples, Coca-Cola ads appeared on some racist hate speech videos. After a few incidents similar to this, it broke out into mainstream media. Big corporations threatened YouTube to remove their advertisements, or they just did. This affected YouTube with the revenue they were making, as well as the content creators, as there's just less advertisements going around. YouTube's response to this has been implementing a more restrictive automated system that flags certain videos if they're about a controversial topic, have certain words in the titles or tags, if there's cursing in the videos, just saying that they're not suitable for advertisers, aka demonetization. So many YouTubers have been hit with this new policy to the point where a lot are not making enough money anymore to live. Lui must be doing fine financially, as he's firstly amassed over 500 million views on his channel. That's a lot of earnings right there, and as long as he's been responsible with the money he's made, he's fine. And I mean, this has to be the case unless he's been making money elsewhere, as he still attends events and such, and I mean, seems to be living alright. But it may not so much be the money itself, but more so the idea that when Lui returns, his efforts won't be worth as much as they used to be. Once again, not explicitly talking about making less money, but more so just the idea that all the time that he'd be putting into the channel is just less than it was worth before, as he's had a hard time committing to a lot of things in his life. Having another thing to demotivate him, such as demonetization, doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility. I'm sure if he were to return, he'd easily be able to supplement some income loss with doing sponsorship deals with companies, as he has shown to totally be open to doing so, as 2 of his most recent videos were paid sponsorships by EA. To nail this point one final time, I just think it's more so the idea of his effort being worth less is what is truly demotivating to him. That's everything else I have to say on the subject of Mr. Lui Calibre's disappearance from his YouTube channel. I still believe he's not gone for good, granted, when he does return, his content may take a totally new direction, or maybe he'll return to doing what he used to. He just still needs to take some time to figure out things about himself and what's going on around him, is my guess at least. And while he's taken a long time, obviously you're watching this video, people are still watching his videos, and he's having channel growth at this point as well, with 400,000 people subscribing since July of 2016. There's millions of people patiently waiting and excited to see whatever Lui will do next. Thank you all so much for watching. For Viral Now, I'm Jeremy Jameson, wishing you to have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.